I'm recording this video to you on a radio telephone. It's actually an iPhone, okay? But if you look at your iPhone, I think it's in the general or legal notices. There's this thing that says warning of RF radiation or signals, okay? And what RF is, it's simply radio frequency. So all telephones, especially wireless ones, all wireless telephones, okay, even cell phones, they operate using radio frequency, okay? They're called radio phones. Um, it's been around, this technology's been around a very long time. Do you remember when the Titanic went down, okay? And their operator was sending messages on the switchboard? That's basically the same thing, same technology, okay? But fast forward through today, and you have it on your cell phone, okay? So how does radio actually work? Okay, and where does it get its energy from? Okay, radio manipulates electrons, okay, to send and receive signals by generating and capturing electromagnetic waves, photons, okay, as they move through time and space. Now they tell us, if you look up in like dictionaries, and you probably taught this in school, they say a photon has zero mass, okay, and zero energy. But that's where electrons come from. So think of photons as simply just electrons, okay? Um, and then if that was true, if photons had no energy and they had no mass, okay, they didn't provide any energy, okay, well then panels, which comes from the sun, which means photo or photon in Greek, okay, light, solar panels would never work, generating solar power from the sun. That's directly from photons, okay, which are just light, okay. So where does all this cancer come from in today's society? Well, like I just said, radio gets its power from photons or electrons, okay? And that's where a lot of almost all cancer comes from today. So there's this one therapy of cancer that is it's probably almost 100% successful, okay, but it costs a lot of money, and it's called proton cancer therapy, which costs between $30,000 and $50,000 for one course of treatment, because your body is made up of almost all protons, okay? It's made up of protons and neutrons. And if it wasn't, you'd be dead right away, okay? Because if you have just electrons that attach to your neutrons, that means death, okay? That means you're dying. That's why when you start to age more, okay? Or if you start to get cancers or diseases, that simply means more electrons are taking over your body, okay? And you've been exposed to light too long, photons, okay? So this proton therapy, just for regular people, it's $30,000 to $50,000 for one like dose of treatment, okay? And it can range from 100,000 to over $1 million, depending on how much you make. But one cool thing about this therapy is, it's a workout you can do every day if you have a hot shower or a steam room to do it in, is simply the high temperature change intercellular cleanse, which is simply hydrogen, steam, okay? So if you steam up your shower a lot, kind of like healing your body. And to do it away from sunlight is very important. But it's one thing that's really helped me. It'll keep you looking younger, okay? And the most important part about doing this workout is, again, drinking water, which provide your cells more hydrogen, okay? Think of your body like a hydrogen fuel cell, okay? Just like, kind of like they made this proton therapy, which is taking hydrogen gas and taking the protons away from it, right? And then putting it in basically, I think it's laser form. I don't know exactly how it works, but they use protons to heal cancer, right? Protons to heal cancer. So if you keep enough protons in your body, okay, compared to electrons, think of electrons as the sun, okay, and protons as the moon, okay. So that's something to think about. Like the sun, just only 5% of the animal kingdom needs sunlight on this planet. Only 5% to survive. Like it's required for them to have it or they're dead. Our bodies do not require it, okay? And how you can tell, there's two easy ways to tell that your body is not supposed to have a lot of light or sunlight, okay, especially artificial light. Is blind, people that go blind or babies that are born blind, right? That comes all from the sun. And then the other thing is sunburn, okay? You can get sunburned very easily. Your first time out in the sun too long, that's your skin's reaction that it's not supposed to be in the sun, okay? So again, we are accustomed to obviously we're accustomed to the sun our entire lives, and we think it's normal, we think it should be there, for a lot of different reasons, but it's in our schooling and our textbooks, and it's kind of like the Catholic symbol, is the best way I can put it. So just something to think about, and how the sunlight transfers to electrons, or photons transfer to electrons. It's called a quantum jump. The transition of an atomic or molecular system from one discrete energy level to another with concomitant absorption or emission of radiation having energy equal to the difference between the two levels. Okay? Quantum jump is also an abrupt change or step, especially in knowledge or information. Now, those two things, knowledge and information, we need to make a quantum jump as a society, about the information that our kids are taking in, because they've been learning the same curriculum, for a very long time, generation after generation, and that means all of our kids are thinking the same. Okay, so just something to think about. Love ya.